Hello everyone. I'm making just a quick little video to put down my thoughts on something that has been kind of popping up. There's a conversation going on right now between Theron Mayer and Blair White. And it started because there was some disagreements about Riley J. Dennis's views on what constitutes lesbian sex. And I have some thoughts. A lot of people have a different opinion about this, and before I give my thoughts, I will say that I'm not the final opinion on this, but this is my argument. Maybe this makes sense to you guys. Hopefully it does. The basic use of language, the basic fundamentals of language and how we classify things are done for the explicit purpose of trying to make it easier to communicate. That's why we classify things. In biology, we have taxonomic classifications because we want to make it very simpler to understand what we're talking about and how things relate to each other. In language, in society, as things develop, we have to make new words for new things. It's usually a good idea to try and figure out a way that it's easy to get across the idea. So we like to classify things to make them very cut and dry. So if we're talking about sex acts between two people, and we want to be able to define those things in very, very basic, easily definable terms. We want to be able to classify it. We need to do it in very general ways. Because of that fact, you cannot rely upon how people feel individually as to what it makes their gender in the classification of their sex acts. This is so weird to even be like. It's such a strange argument. So because of that, I don't believe Riley J. Dennis. You could classify a sex act with Riley J. Dennis where he's having penetrative sex using his penis, or using her penis, excuse me. I'm trying to get better at that. Trying to be respectful. I'm going to slip up. It's hard with Riley. I'll be honest. I don't think you could classify penetrative, penis-involved sex with Riley J. Dennis lesbian. Riley doesn't have a vagina, so I don't think you could classify it that way. But here's the thing. Here's the deal. If Riley wants to call the sex that they have lesbian, okay. I don't care. I don't give a shit. And I don't think you should give a shit either. I really don't care. I think you should be able to call whatever kind of sex acts you want. How you view your sexuality and the acts that you perform in a sexual manner, how you view those is as subjective as your gender identity. It's the same argument. We want to classify things in society as male, female. If there are mixtures or whatever, then we try and deal with it in a way that's appropriate. But we don't allow, via the social contract, to try and account for everybody's individual feelings. We try and classify things in broader terms. How you feel for yourself and how whatever you want to call, whatever you do or whatever you are, fine, fucking do it. That's great. But the problem is, and it's a problem specifically with Riley, is Riley, and it's my biggest complaint with Riley, Riley wants to reclassify things and feels like they should be allowed to do so because reasons. And I don't like that. I don't think that's appropriate. I think that however Riley feels, if Riley just wants to share how they feel and the words that they use for themselves, great. But that's not what Riley does. Riley uses shaming tactics and tries to convince people and compel people that they should reclassify. All of society should change and reclassify against what it's already known. And the only reason why he gives for it is not a good argument. It's because of emotions. That's not a good argument. It's just, it's not compelling to me, and it's not going to be very compelling to everybody else in the world. Now, if you come up with a good argument, a good reason, a good way to convince everybody that doesn't come across as extremely selfish, hey, go for it. Make the attempt. Maybe it'll work. But this, no, I fully support anybody disbelieving that Riley is a lesbian. Maybe Riley wants to identify as a lesbian. Good for Riley. But as far as like a basic societal classification, no, I don't think so. But moreover, and this is the big thing, and this I think a lot of people don't really understand, is who cares what I think? Who cares what anybody thinks? Who cares what Riley thinks? Riley's trying to speak for other people, and that's wrong. and I have that problem, but I don't expect that Riley should give a shit what I think about Riley's definitions. And, you know, even whether it's classified as lesbian sex or classified as something else, shouldn't change the act, shouldn't change the emotion behind the act, shouldn't change how the person feels about their body. It doesn't matter. It's just fucking words. It's just classifications. It's pointless. It's such a weird, it's a weird argument. And I think maybe we should just be a little bit more open-minded, and also try and remember the basis for why we classify things and how our language works. Hopefully that came across pretty well. I got a lot of sun today, and I actually feel kind of sunsick from a sunburn. You can't see it because I turned the red levels on my video way down, but I'm really crispy. Anyway, I hope everyone out there is having a good one. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.